We just finished Life is Strange Before the Storm. If you missed that, it's on YouTube, all that jazz. What's going on, Sprawl? What's going on, Kitty? You ready to play some games? Let's do this. Let's go upstairs. Give you the TLDR of Life is Strange. God, what would be a good TLDR of that be? 1 second, let me get these curtains up. That's not the right screen. There we go. Let's play some Wordle. TLDR, Chloe meets a girl. And they kind of fall in lust. And stuff happens. And they get they get dramatic together. Drama. Terrible word. How about no, not cream. That's a terrible word again. How about crink? Good word. Good word. Are they disaster lesbians? Did you not see any of it? Did you not see it the first time? I could have sworn you were there the first time we streamed it. It's a good game. You should see it. You remember Life is Strange? It's more of that. It's basically Life is Strange. Croak? No, it can't be croak. Creek? Could it be creek? Terrible guess. It's not. It could be crook. Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew it would be a double letter. You're not getting me. You're not getting me. I'm onto your games. We're doing this. You didn't play today? Well, it's crooks, Kitty. So, in case you didn't know. Life is Strange is watching an autistic girl navigate a week of high school. I don't know if the storm is about that. Well, there's no Max. Max is not in the game at all. So, I mean, if you're expecting Max Caulfield, there's none of that. Let me get into the video game, which is right over here. Let me get my music. Can we not start with the... Can we not start with the, Actually, you know what? Let's start with game music tonight. Let's not even do pogo music. Let's do video game music. Sorry, I'll start in a minute. We're gonna do some, we're gonna do some heart and flower-based power washing tonight. I don't know if you're ready for the excitement that's headed your way. Let me get back into the Discord. Perfect. All right. Good. It's working now. Okay. Let's start this. As per Kitty's request, we are going back into the Alice in Wonderland job. Why is it, do we wonder, that wherever I go, everybody suddenly loses their head? Me. I'm the reason, so I suggest you get to it at once, whatever it is. And be quick about it. As soon as we've apprehended this Alice absconder, we'll be needing a quick and thorough trial. Excellent. What's the inspiration for the beanie pattern? Green and purple, Kitty. It's a weed reference. You gotta smoke that weed every day. How is everybody? Are you ready for a... Are you ready for a hot and ready evening of power washing? There's going to be hearts and flowers everywhere. So this is going to be the Valentine's Day stream that we should have done. Be a wiener and spray all over everything. That's the idea, Feelanoid. How are you? Am I using the right washer? I am. Excellent. How was everybody's day? Did everybody have a nice Saturday? Today, I started my day by receiving a 50-foot long it wasn't 50 foot, a 75 foot long cable that I spent, that I set up and lined up against the wall along hooks. And it looks much nicer than the option I had before, where they were basically just sitting on the ground. And it's no wonder the internet decided to crap itself. I don't know if I fixed my internet problems. I'm leaning towards I didn't. Tonight as it is going to be a test night as usual. Ganja. You am, which is bad. You am what? You how are you, Feelanoid? Are you doing okay? I went to Culver's today. And I had a delicious meal. I had a spicy chicken sandwich, and it was very good. Here's my problem with Culver's, and this is really kind of the opposite of a problem. Every time I go to Culver's, I kind of feel like, also this is, sorry, we just have to make sure that this TV channel gets proper notice. Every time I go to Culver's, I always end up eating way too much, and ending up like having to barf near the end of it. I didn't have to today, but it got pretty close. I think it's the root beer. The root beer is what always gets to me, and I don't know if it's just because it's so gosh darn delicious. I just can't stop eating it like a newborn pup with a bowl of kibble. I just eat until I barf, kind of thing. Which you think a grown-ass man wouldn't have that problem. And yet, here we are. You still don't get, you never really get used to the old stomach surgery. They must put spices in the root beer. The root beer is so good. I had a root beer float, and it was so good. If you ate so much, why are you stuffing cheese down your throat? That was 6 hours ago. So, I mean, time has, I have since digested all of that food. So much so that I had an entirely different meal after that. We had Philly cheesesteaks. No, you haven't. I haven't what? Maybe not digested. It takes at least 10 hours to fully digest a meal. You don't know my life. You don't know my life. Oh, my thing isn't running. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I'm just a hot mess. Carbonation plus milk plus gas, which is bad in your sleeve. I mean, this isn't the right list. What the hell? Game music.
Yeah, I like to make beats.
There we go. Are my pipes not working? My sleeve is no longer really a sleeve. It's just my stomach, to be honest. This is not game music. Get out of here. Sorry, I'm almost there. There we go. He ain't got no pipes, Lieutenant Dan. I have a working cloaca. How long does it take a turkey to digest a meal?
Which is a pouch-like structure that houses a diverse community of microbes.
Okay, I'm not really sure why she decided to start answering every question with a Wikipedia article. I didn't ask for that. I want a 50 word long description. Turkeys can't the F word. They can't canoodle. That sounds like I don't think that's true. I don't think that's entirely true. If turdies if turdies couldn't, do the do, how are there still turkeys? Are turkeys some terrible factory amalgamation Kind of like bananas. Like they wouldn't exist if they weren't created outside of a lab. No, not bananas. Corn. Like the sleeves on corn. Like some terrible amalgamation of science and God. This opening area is going to look real nice. We boink for them. I don't think corn is a sound clip. I don't think we have a corn sound clip. Here, I'll give you a different one. Hey, I'm gonna do a random sound effect. Watch your ears. Good sound effect. We boink for them. Are turkeys not able to have sex?
Turkeys are indeed capable of having sex. In fact, turkey breeding is a common practice in the poultry industry. Male turkeys, also known as tom turkeys or cockerels, typically reach reproductive maturity at around 16 to 20 weeks of age. They can then mate with female turkeys, called hens. However, it's worth noting that turkeys have some unique characteristics when it comes to reproduction. One, polygynous mating system. Tom turkeys often engage in polygyny, where they mate with multiple hens. 2, estrus cycle. Hens typically go into estrus, heat, every 24 to 30 hours, and can be bred during this time. 3, fertilization. Fertilization occurs internally, as the tom turkey's cloaca, a multi-purpose opening used for reproduction, digestion, and excretion, deposits sperm into the hen's oviduct. Turkeys are capable of producing fertile eggs, but there.
But there. We learned so much. What is wrong with my bot? Why is it... Hold on. I think I might know what the problem might be. No, that's not the problem. I just want it not to use ChatGPT. I want it to use the other... I don't want it to make super long descriptions of stuff. I want it just to have conversational talk. You know what sucks? Tomorrow's Sunday, which means I have to go back to work and go and make that too. I have to go into work and make money, and going to work is not nearly as fun as not going to work. It's the, it's the duality of man. You gotta make money to have fun, but you don't have fun making money. Or maybe you do. Maybe you need to find a job that you really have fun doing. And, you also have to get a paycheck. That's really nice too. What are we listening to? Jesus, this is a long song. They say...
Thanks for your time. Have a good day.
Well, that's Wilford Brimley. They say that you really should... If you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life. And I think that's true. In at least in a lot of circumstances. Unfortunately, I don't think that's how capitalism works. There's got to be... Not everybody, gets to do what they really, really want to do in life. And I don't think our society is leaning towards that becoming the norm anytime soon. Which is really sad, because I think humanity deserves to, thrive and do things it really wants to do without having to worry about basic human needs, like money, like commerce. Just noticed the Roar TV while I'm here talking about the plight of man. I got Stranger Things going on Roar TV. That said, it could certainly have a worse job than what I have. I rather like my job. Do I get a wild, euphoric sense of satisfaction? I choose not to answer that question. I am not speaking as any member of anything. Oh, that button doesn't work anymore? Cool. You're not sure what you can do that you'll be good at and enjoy when you go back to work? Maybe that should be at night one night, Kitty. We can find out something that you think would be really, really enjoyable. What is this? Oh. Why is everything so damn dirty here? This is only a $300 DLC, a $300 goal. Like you only get $300 from this. Also, I didn't even look up if there was an achievement for this. What things really do you find interesting, kid? You don't want to work in the medical field. You're not interested in going back into the medical field. You don't want to go back into like commercial hairstyling, right? Like you're really good with hair, but you don't want to do it for like a career. Did I read that right? Also, if you don't want to talk about that in a public venue, that's perfectly fine. Looks like Doge froze all the job openings for federal movie inspector. I don't even... You know what? I don't want to put my... Nice, I see we're somehow back into the Pogo list. I'm not even going to ask. You're going to be an esports streamer and have instantly 10 times your viewer. You're not... That's not even a joke. I've told Kitty before, like, if she wants to get into streaming, I would happily set everything up for her. It would not be difficult. I told her she should do some crocheting. Anyways, going back to the other thing, I'm going to be honest. I don't think that going into a federal role right now is a good idea, unless it's like the judicial system. But even then, I don't think that's at all a good career move for Kitty at this time. You never got your cosmetic license? It's never too late. I'm just saying, if it's something that brings you joy, what are things that bring you joy? You love to crochet. What we need to do is open up an Etsy shop. I've got dozens of purlers, and I don't think... Honestly, you know what I need to do? I need to start practicing purling, because we might think about opening up one of them old Etsy shops, I think it's called. Etsy? You know, where you sell things? We might sell things like purlers. We might sell things like crochet stuff. Kitty's mom does yarn work. We're just looking at ways to bring in revenue, which would be nice. You'd love to VOD anything, but you don't know what viewers would want from you. Guess what? Neither do fucking I. Knitting and crocheting, off-brand Pusheen or Kitty stuff will bring in the orders. I think making like a Kirby crochet would be adorable. Like I bet you we could look up like a before she made a dog toy that we actually gave to Finn, and he loved it. I bet you we could make like a Kirby dog toy. I don't think Rora's saying he doesn't know what viewers want from you. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry if that wasn't clear. Yeah, I've been doing this for way too many years to say that and not sound embarrassing, and I've got no idea what people want to see. But Power Wash is fun. Our next few streams, we're going to be playing Return of the Phantom. Viewers want the duck. The duck is dead. The duck is dead. Long live the turkey. You know what? I was telling Kitty this about the duck. Here's the problem with the duck. The problem with the duck, and I had this problem, and I realized this problem would happen about 6 seconds after I made the duck. I realized that everybody uses duck. Everybody. Like, there's not, like, I don't want to name names, but there's plenty of people who incorporate ducks into either their name, their branding, their everything. Ducks are overused. I don't mean to discourage anybody from using a duck, but as for me personally, it's too much. I love ducks, don't get me wrong. And I had a long time where I was a duck. You want the original duck? Ducks have all those little down feathers and you can't be done. Jokes. I think Kirby is trademarked. At least the Woobles allow you to sell the stuff you make. I think if you sell it on Etsy, Kitty, I really doubt Nintendo would give a second ass. You want the duck? I don't know what to tell you. Can I have an explanation for that meme? You remember that whole, is there an explanation for that meme? Am I allowed to have it at some point? Make a shoe-sized toy, call it Corby, and and say it's parody. That's very true. I really don't think Nintendo would go after somebody with on an Etsy shop. I think people on Etsy sell Nintendo stuff all the time. No, you aren't what? Remember when like those people came in when I was playing Minecraft in like 2015? You know you have the original overlay, Roar. Stop holding out. What do you mean the original? What overlay? Oh! Oh my god, I forgot all about that. Jesus, I forgot about that. Do you remember the if somebody gave a what was it, like a buck, I would put the duck on screen. You know what? I'll do it. Shit. Think I give a shit? I have to find it. That'd be really annoying and not worth $1 at all. If you remember correctly, it was a dude who asked for it, likely as a joke, and wanted to type away from being sick. It was from what I remember, it was a Minecraft stream, and like 6 people came in and said some variation of give me the duck, and I never understood it. Turkeys are just giant land ducks anyways. There are a grouping of turkeys that just live around Walt Disney World. Show us the dick. Willow, show us the dick. There it is. The dick is right there. Anyways, there's a gaggle of wild turkeys that live around Walt Disney World, and every now and then you'll just see like traffic build up because the turkeys have decided to cross the road at the most inopportune time. They have decided that the road is their personal walking path, and they're usually crossing like sideways, just basically the worst possible way they could. Or showed you a while ago. I did not show you my dick. I have not. You have not seen my penis. I'm 1,000% sure that no one has seen my penis. except for Kitty. Yeah, turkeys are great. And that's the other thing. It's like, I like ducks. Who doesn't like ducks? Ducks are great. Everybody has ducks. Everybody likes turkeys too. You should like turkeys. Show us the dick. I know. Roar showed me a while ago. I didn't say your dick. Am I fucking... what is going on? What? Are you screwing with me? Am I being screwed with? Show us the dick. I know. Roar showed me a while ago. What dick? What dick are you talking about? Which dick? I don't know if I've shown you a dick. Not a single dick in the world. I mean, I've shown you plenty in, like, when we played Skyrim once upon a time. You remember how many, God, do you remember the first playthrough of Skyrim? I did not give a single shit and probably should have been banned. Ben Franklin gave an only somewhat sarcastic push for turkeys to be the national bird over the bald eagle. I've read the thing that he said about the turkeys, and it's really sarcastic. It's like Ben Franklin was not really calling for the for the turkey. He was basically like, the dumbest thing possible would be the turkey, if I recall. Turkeys are you're saying that he's right? I mean, don't get me wrong. Turkeys are not any worse than a bald eagle, which are basically just rats with wings. Or dumb shits that are just like this, just fat naturally, easy slaughter. Well, I gotta say, the wild turkeys are a different story, and I don't know if they're a different... I'm assuming they're like a different section of the turkey tree. But like the wild turkeys I see are not the same as the gobbler, 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 gobbler turkeys that we see. Gross coughing carrion monsters. They're trash birds. They're trash birds. They live in the trash. They dumpster dive, and you see them all over in Alaska. As somebody who has never gone far from the state of Florida in his life, apparently in Alaska they're like all over the place. They're terrible trash birds. You used to like turkey, but you're not hugely a fan anymore. If turkey is done properly with some gravy and some sage and maybe oh god, what is it good with? Some mashed potatoes. It's great. That's the problem, though. Turkey is pretty bad. Is the goose too mean? Sorry, I'll come back to what I was talking about in a second. Every time I look up, the goose is kicking someone's shit down at the bottom of the screen. It's supposed to be like a 1 in 10 chance that the goose attacks. The goose might be a little too mean. I've been to Canada. I have been to Canada. Cranberry sauce. Yeah, that's the thing, though. Is it fair to say for turkey that turkey is good if you need all of these other things to make it good? Now, on that same token, I don't think that chicken is particularly enhanced by mashed potatoes. I think mashed potatoes are entirely unnecessary for chicken. They help, sure, but they do not enhance the chicken. You had some great turkey at a neighbor's house once, and they said the secret was just not overcooking it. That's true. 1 second. That's true to a point. You really shouldn't undercook your turkey. Undercooked poultry is one of the most disappointing things in the world. It's very sad. You've got a turkey Reuben waiting in your fridge right now. Also, smoked turkey on the bones to cook down with dark greens is fantastic. That sounds really good. I'm not even hungry. I'm not even particularly hungry at all. And a good turkey, ooh, sounds delicious. I know that sounds terrible considering I am a turkey, but birds are notorious cannibals. It's like a slice of bread. The toppings, fillings that make it special. Agreed. Would a bread tier list be any fun? Like a white bread tier list? We'd have to use all the white bread. Like we could make a whole bunch of French toast at some point. Like any recipes you'll find will be airing on the side. Oh, you were so close to getting that slot machine. On the side of caution because undercooked will be dangerous, but overcooked will only make you sad. Yeah, it's why I never really got a huge love for cooking, because when I really poured my heart into trying to cook, I ended up ruining so much. It's like, you think I have a hard time making technology work? Imagine how I was with protein. You know what I mean? It was miserable. It's like I'd spend so much time trying to make a delicious meal that's not, you know, over salted, overcooked, undercooked, all that stuff, and then it just ends up being everything I hoped it wouldn't be. That said, I really enjoyed that 2 semesters of cooking that I did in high school. Only good at doling out one kind of protein. Ayo! Ayo! Yeah, the game we'll be playing starting tomorrow is called Return of the Phantom, and it is a point and click game from 1993. I'm looking forward to it. I want to say it is a sequel to the Phantom of the Opera, but I could be wrong. Do you play as an Australian Shepherd? No, that's a different Phantom. I mean, we might be talking... I'm not going to make that joke. I was going to make a really dark joke. I'm not going to. Deny. I'm shutting down that joke. A better Phantom? There was no better Phantoms than good old Phantom. Or may he rest in peace. That big dumb idiot. He really was a sweetheart. God bless him. Have I ever talked about Phantom of the Opera on stream? Like, really talked about it? I went through a phase where I not watched. Well, I did watch. I've seen the Phantom of the Opera on stage several times. And probably because of my family. I've one side of my family has been very much devoted to the Phantom of the Opera. And I ended up, like, when I was young, I think it was like my 8th grade graduation present that I went to, like, the Phantom of the Opera when it was playing in Orlando. It's just, I don't know. People give a lot of crap to old Andrew Lloyd Webber, but I think Phantom of the Opera is pretty good. Now, is it a little up its own ass? Sure. But to be real, the book is a little up its own ass. So, I mean, you got to take the good with the bad there. Kitty, we need to look at dates to go see that show. We're gonna see The Lion King when it is in town. The Lion King is a fantastic show. The stage show, anyways. I'm assuming it's going to be better than the multiple movies Like the Mufasa movie that has come out. I need to ask Sean about that. I know that he wanted to see it, or probably watched it with his son. I'm really unclear as to why they keep making Lion King movies. I feel like they need to stop making Lion King movies. I'm not speaking as any member of any organization, but I really don't know why they keep making Lion King movies. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There's some amazing long-form YouTube commentary on fandom-related stuff on Lindsay Ellis's channel. I love her. Can you post it? Sure, go for it. This game is so chill that when you play it, it makes you sleepy. Not wrong, Esoteric. Thank you. That goes to my Discord, so I'll take a peek at that in a little bit. That's why usually at about an hour and a half into the stream is usually when I start getting really sleepy by how chill and relaxed it is. So once I start... Actually, you know what? I start listening to like the VODs and I don't actually sound quite as incoherent as I think I sound. I think I just start to fall asleep a little bit, and in my head I think, I must be talking gibberish because I am asleep. And not out of any non-enjoyment of the game, because I could power wash for days, but usually it is a culmination of just being awake for a very long time and streaming relatively late in the evening. I'm starting to wonder if I should stream earlier, but I don't think that would help. I don't think that's the answer. I don't think earlier would help anybody. I think like I think the later would be better, but it's just not good for my own personal schedule. I don't know. Doesn't matter. This is the year of trying new things. Like my third. Yeah, I just wake up and it's just I was like, Kitty said it was big. What do you guys think? Oh shit, why am I showing my ween? It's fun in a weird way like Death Stranding was. I still haven't played Death Stranding. I think my brother gave Death Stranding to me and I still haven't played it. What year have you not been constantly trying new things? Listen, I was just telling Kitty about this. When was the last time the stream layout, like everything you're looking at around here, has dramatically changed? I haven't tried to. What you're looking at has stayed pretty consistently the same. In my most humble of defenses. Now that said, I got a little sick of the green avatar man. And I know that a lot of other people didn't like it, so it was time for a change there. Also, I need to check and make sure that my low latency mode was turned on, back on, because that certainly was not causing the issues. I turned it off at some point. I need to make sure it's turned back on. The story in Death Stranding was just Kojima nonsense, but the gameplay was interesting. Wasn't that the game where you walked across a field, or not a field, where you walked across a really long stretch of an area? You know what I mean? Watch on Roar TV has been constantly fresh and relevant to your interests. You say I see a Bluey channel down there. I'm guessing that has switched since you hit the enter button. UPS walking sim. From the gameplay videos I've seen of it, it does look like something that might be fun. I'm not sure if it would be fun for a full playthrough, at least on this stream. And I know it's mostly a cutscene watching video game, isn't it? Isn't like the entire game like 14 hours of cutscenes? Am I wrong? Am I thinking of a different game? Balancing packages and also getting slogged in Monster Mud Sim. Really? Dramatic music. Is it kind of like Do you remember the game where you are on the truck, where you're driving the truck through the mud spinners? I think it is. Is it basically like that, but with people? Is it like that, but with people? To be fair, that's the early games. You can make roads and vehicles and shit, and you are in fact supposed to. It sounds a lot more funny just to not build roads. Lots of cutscenes, weird goo whales, package delivery optimization. I think I own that game. I'll check during the break. I mean, I've got a pretty full schedule at this point, but I might be willing to put it on at some point coming up in the future. I've got to say, March is jam-packed for Mario month. We got all sorts of. Have you guys heard of the? Have you guys seen the Iron Man for Mario 64, which is basically like one-hit permadeath randomizer, all sorts of crazy horseshit. It looks really interesting. Kojima's desire to be a batshit insane melodrama action movie has never been successfully defined. I really need to do like Metal Gear Solid week. I know so little about Metal Gear Solid. Part of me wants to put some of Mario into May because May is the celebration of M. But no, Mario is March is for Mario. Also, it has Conan O'Brien in an otter outfit. I need to look. Hold on, that's gonna bother me. Death Stranding. I do own Death Stranding. 63 megs. Good Christ in heaven. Man, do I not have time for that game. How long does it take? It takes like 60 hours, doesn't it? Something insane. There are optional pizza delivery missions that are important to the story. I could make that as part, like something like that, like a really, really long game, as the new Power Wash sim once we run out of maps. Trust me, that's no time soon. We have so many Power Wash maps left, it's not even funny. And we've been playing this for literally months. Gigs. What did I say? Gigs, yeah, 63 gigs. Did I say megs? I meant gigs if I said megs. That are important to the story. From what I've seen, it looks really fun. I don't know if I can devote time like that to a majorly long game anymore. I look back. Do you remember when we played? Oh God, what was a good example of that? Do you remember when we played Morrowind? Maybe. I think we played Morrowind for like 15 streams in a row, and I don't know if I can devote that long to games anymore, unless I do some weird splitting up of it, and I'm not sure how to do that. It's long and cutscenes are long and Johnson's he has had the jank play and talent is sort of amazing outsider art. It does look fun. I won't lie if I, and say that the idea of the walking simulator does not appeal to me in a major way. That said, Kojima's like tremendously up his own ass, isn't he? Like a good, 7 or 8 up his own ass. Am I misinterpreting on old Kojima? This row's done. There we go. I'm a little worried once we get to the 10%, but there's not really a lot of intricate little stuff. This area is so spread out that it might not be too bad. I think the flowers are going to be the worst part. He knows it and has fun with it, and he's insane. He does have a love for butts, though. I mean, God, who doesn't, I said... You can't time this shit. He has a love for butts, though, as I'm looking at a statue of the white rabbit's white gaunt ass. You love this map? This really is a nice map. It's pleasant and peaceful. Have you seen that they're going to be releasing a Wallace and Gromit map for Power Wash Sim? Quap. I've never been able to figure out how to play Quap, even as a joke. Like, all of Quap is basically just slamming the buttons down, right? Like, you just slam the buttons until it moves. I'm sure there's some strategy for it, but hell if I know what it is. I'm not sure how I feel about the Wallace and Gromit map. And maybe it's because I'm not, I'm not from that culture that really fell in love with the Wallace and Gromit series. Maybe you had to grow up with Wallace and Gromit. Is it a claymation map? I'm not sure. Let me see. I wonder if they have the Oh, here we go. Watch your ears. Oh, there is no sound. Here you go. This is the Wallace and Gromit map. There actually isn't anything to see. It's literally just zooming in on the doghouse. So it's a little lazy considering the thing is supposed to be coming out in like a week and a half. I'm like, I feel like we could have seen a little more of the map. That said, they love to drop stuff on this game. They love to just dump things on this game like, surprise, nerds! Here's a DLC for you. I'm assuming, based on how this game normally is, that it will probably have the same sort of, the same style as everything else, but I could be wrong. Although, I'm assuming it'd be something like the SpongeBob maps. If you've seen anything like the SpongeBob SquarePants maps, maybe it's something like that. Let's get this out of the way. There. Like, let me just say how many maps we have left in this game. It's unreal. We've gotten a little more than half of the main missions, kind of. None of the bonus missions. Like, none of the SpongeBob or the Warhammer. We have enough Power Wash content to break things up for the sustainable future, and we basically do Power Wash as a little break in between games. Like when we need to when we're playing, what we were just playing, Life is Strange, Before the Storm, and we needed to take a little break so we don't have too many episodes of Chloe and Rachel staring at each other longingly. Funko Pop is any guide that will never run out of monetization opportunities. Guys, I have an esoteric question for you. There's an online RPG that I've talked about before. It's the longest running MMO in history. There's a quest in the game that people have been stuck on for something like 15 years, called the Woodland Diary quest. And people have never been able to make heads or tails of how to progress in this stupid quest. And like a week or so ago, I don't play this game anymore. I'm reading their Discord. A week or so ago, somebody decided, you know what? This game is dying. At this point, we need to see the end of this stupid quest. So somehow they went in and packet edited and basically brute forced the quest and figured out how to do it, made a walkthrough, posted everything, and said, hey, here's the quest. And here's what you need to do for this quest that's been plaguing the community for more than a decade. I thought, that's awesome. Somebody's going in and somebody's gonna say, hey, this quest that maybe somebody might want to re-register, maybe repay the $10 fine to play the game, which is exorbitant in the year of 2025 to play a 2D game. Maybe people might want to drop a registration just to finish the quest. The admins, who are notoriously quiet in every situation, they are AWOL, decided to show themselves and basically say shit was cheated, that guy sucks, he's banned, we're gonna have some meetings to find out what to do. Which I think is quite possibly the dumbest way they could have handled that situation in the world. They had an opportunity to make hundreds of dollars. It's a small MMO with like something like 400 active accounts. They could have had hundreds of people restore their accounts and get more interest in the game. And they punished the people who are actually still playing. They're punished the people. Yeah, they cheated. Who gives a shit? Nobody was interested in your stupid. Nobody was trying because the quest was so convoluted and terrible. And it's like, I don't know. It's kind of inspirational. Those devs are dicks, not good dicks. It's wild to me. It's like they could have just said nothing. They could have said nothing and been like, you know what? They figured, they finally somehow got the information. The best thing they could have done is said nothing. Or even better, maybe added some other stuff, progressed the quest a little more. People actually interested in the game. And they punished them because they didn't do it right. Absolutely wild to me. The game. I don't even want to give them credit. I don't even want to give them a name. Just look up. Actually, I'll tell you the name. It's Barum in Korea. And they have a different name in America. I'm not giving them credit anymore. They can fuck off. That's just an absolute... I hope the company folds. It's sad because the game has fallen apart. Anyways, I just wanted to say, am I off base thinking that's one of the worst ways they could have handled that situation? If it was posted in a place they couldn't claim ignorance, they were probably legally bound to respond strongly. I mean, legally? I mean, they're the devs. The devs are the gods of the game. That's basically the equivalent of a human cheating a Greek god, and the Greek god's just like, no, that's bad, and then they kill him. Like, now that's a fucking terrible story, isn't it? The Wilderness Diary, yeah, exactly. The Wilderness Diary quest, Woodlands, yeah, all of that. I never really looked into it because I got to like the first. I started reading walkthroughs of the first parts of the quest. I'm like, okay, I don't want to do any of this. I have other stuff I want to do first, and I never got back to it before I stopped playing. It's very sad, and I just want to think, am I the one off base here? Like, they had no major obligation that they had to come down on this guy. They didn't have to ban him. They could have said, hey, they hacked their way into things and allowing a TOS. That, yeah, as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, Maybe. Yeah, this is an AI TI. I need to take a break. It's time for break. But I guess the fact that it was hacked, I guess they had to do. I'm okay with them banning him. I think they shouldn't have, but I can understand why they banned him. But the fact that they were like, this quest isn't done right, we might change it now, is wildly stupid, and I hate it. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Activity of sound. When I talk about music, it finally comes to people's minds that I'm talking about sound that doesn't mean anything. There are two things that don't have to mean anything. One is music, and the other is laughter.
He takes it seriously. I think it's interesting. If you like it, you may buy the recording.
It's been said that listening to John Cage's music is like chewing sand. Well, I'll leave that up to you and your teeth to decide.
Back. 1 second. What are we listening to? This sucks. Get out of here. Being pissy about it now to change the quest now that people know about it would certainly be one thing, but that statement could also be taken. We didn't realize it was broken. We need to fix that. I mean, it's such an old game that I don't know if there's any way to not not get around the way it's packet edited. Honestly, this game should have died decades ago. It should have died easily by like the late 2015s, 2020s. It got a resurgence during COVID that they should have built on, and they didn't because they're stupid. because the devs are goddamn morons. As previously discussed. But honestly, the whole game should have fallen apart by now. So concerned with this old setup. But yeah, they could fix it. Probably. But they're not. They don't do anything. They don't have new events. They don't have new items. People are paying $10 for nostalgia, which, you know, is not a big deal. It's $10. Who cares? The price of a coffee. If it makes you happy, that's one thing. But also, at some point, it just feels like insulting when it's like they're just not providing you anything other than the server, than just the server being open. Sounds like it's been shelved. Yeah, more or less. Like, they clearly show up. They showed up for this. I mean, it's one thing. The guy was very clear and open with what he did, and you know, was like, hey, this has been on my list for a long time. I'm pretty sure he knew that he might get banned. It just is like, really, man? I guess I get it from like what feeling I'd say, like a legal standpoint. I get it, but it just did not seem like the best thing for a small community to maybe ban people who are interested in the game still. I don't know. It's a game that looks like it came out in 1997 or 6 because it did. So, no. Just thinking out loud. I was just looking at their Discord and they're still talking about it. It's like, I don't know why they're still paying at this point, which is a shame because it's such a addicting sort of game. Like MMOs in general are extremely addicting, and I have an addictive personality, and it's like whenever I end up playing like Final Fantasy 14, like I've had the idea of pulling up Final Fantasy 14 and doing some more fishing again, but it's such a time-consuming game that just overwhelms your life, and it's like I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. There are other fishing projects. There are other fishing places. I think I got to level 60 in the fishing quest. I'm sure it's expanded now because I think I want to say the level cap is like 80 or something. I clean up this area here. We haven't really touched this since before. Did I ever try out web fishing? I did not try out web fishing. Web fishing is sort of intimidating to me because isn't like the whole appeal of it like doing the multiplayer server thing, and it's basically just friends screaming at each other for like 2 hours. Like that seemed to be the vibe I got from web fishing. To answer your question, no, I did not try out web fishing. Oh yeah, we don't, you know. Trust me, I don't I don't judge people for what they get addicted to. Some people are really into like old like Zork. What about people who play old Zork on the computer? I bet you there are people who still are addicted to Zork. That might not be the best example, but there might be people who can't get over Zork at this point in life. I don't know if I've ever actually played Zork. Not fully. I haven't beaten it, that's for sure. I mean, Minecraft is basically just adult Legos. Everybody with no real plot or game, and I love Minecraft. Haven't played it in a while, but it's a good thing. Dwarf Fortress is fun. It has the same style as like what is the other game I was thinking of? RimWorld. Both of those games are a little intimidating to me because there's just too much information. It's like you open up RimWorld and you get 8,000 text messages about things that have been happening around the farm. It's like Cow 6 is feeling jealous because it hasn't gotten a loving pat today, and it's like I don't know if I needed to know about Cow 6's feelings today. I feel like I've got bigger problems at this point. There's rabid beavers attacking my camp, and you're telling me about Cow 6 isn't feeling too happy. It's like, just shut up about Cow 6 and arm yourselves. Get to your posts. Although I do appreciate how many mods RimWorld had. I appreciate any game that looks at something that has thousands of customizing options and says, that's not enough, I want my own. And I think that's anything special. That's not the right word. I think that's commendable. It's like, I see that you've given me 16 different races. I want 40. I'm coming out with the RimWorld 13 different races packs. Legos are still adult Legos. Electronic Legos, I guess. The problem with real Legos is they make a darn mess. Caves of Cud. I'm not sure I know what Caves of Cud is. I remember there was like a visual, like, what was it? Dungeons of... It had like a hyphen in the name, and it was really in-depth and had like 1,500 achievements. Problem with real Legos is the price. Just open the Reese's ice cream. Oh, I'm looking forward to it, kitty. And you just opened it? Nice, good. Yeah, Lego is expensive. The problem with, the solution to expensive Lego is just, I think a lot of the price with Lego is you're paying for the kit, right? Couldn't you, in theory, just download the instructions on how to make it and just buy a big container of assorted Legos and sort of half-ass a build on your own? I bet you that would work. I mean, I'm sure a Lego guy would probably not think that was the best idea. They probably would demand that you buy it straight from the company. I'm looking forward to the ice cream. You made like $1,200-$1,500 selling your old Legos back to the store. That probably means it was like $5,000 worth by stores prices. I like Legos. There's something satisfying about taking a whole bunch of crap and turning it into something that looks nice. Your son loves expensive Lego sets. I can't blame him. Unique pieces for the... Yeah, as I was saying it, I'm like, you probably can't get a, Queen Amidala's Palace specialty archway in a random assortment of crap Legos that you buy from a yard sale. You could probably get a bunch of different Legos from a yard sale, but I guess you couldn't really make Legoopolis unless you had all the Legoopolis pieces. And honestly, it might just be worth the effort just to have all the pieces in one set. Back when I really started getting into purling, I had the great idea to save money where I would buy a big assortment collection of purlers with like 30 different colors of the different purlers in a big plastic container. In my head, I thought this would be fun. I would just take the purlers and separate them, and I would get all these different colors. And little did I know that it's actually really annoying to sort perlers like that. You built your girlfriend one of those Lego flowers and it was made out of banana pieces. That's actually really sick. That's cool. I like that. I like taking the idea of something and turning it on its head. Like still presenting it as the thing it is, but like switching it up a little bit. That's nice. It's going to be a while before 3D printers can match the plastic strength and precision fit of a name brand stuff. Obviously can't afford it right now. I have a fleeting blue skies desire for a 3D printer. I have a feeling that I would be disappointed with my purchase if I bought one, because I feel like it might be a lot of work that I might not be ready to do. Like, I might not be prepared for the amount of work and effort the 3D printers require. But man, wouldn't that be cool to have a 3D printer? I'm not really sure what I'd do with it, to be real. Like, I can't think of like what my first thing I would do if I had a 3D printer. You bought a 3D printer and you haven't used it in 2 years? Like, what? I'm trying to think of a good use case. If I had a 3D printer and 18 hours available to me right now, what would be something good I could make with a 3D printer? Maybe a big red... Actually, it couldn't even be red. Maybe a big oblong heart I could give to Kitty. And could be like, happy late Valentine's Day. Here's a 3D heart or something. I don't know. Kitty gives me a devil face. I know what Kitty's thinking. I know what you're thinking. The one good thing to use a 3D printer for is knockoff Warhammer models. That sounds like a great idea. Your local library has a super cheap 3D printing service. Oh shit! Oh, I'm putting that in the scribble pad. I think that our local library also allows that. I think that our local library also has a 3D printer. Doesn't it, Kitty? The one like the one down the road? I'm pretty sure there's like a whole 3D printer thing, like a 3D printer set. That's actually a really good idea. Gave you anxiety to try and make stuff right, and it was a resin printer which has toxic shit that you don't want around your kid. Fair enough. I know my brother has one, and he's made some interesting stuff, but I haven't seen like a practical. He's made me like I have a or I used to have, I don't know where it is now, a 3D printout of like Locke from like Final Fantasy or something. Maybe it was Terra, so one of those two. It's a massager. You demand a picture of you walking out. I'm not printing a dildo from the library. Twitch didn't like butt plug. I don't know why. I don't have any settings. I think Twitch demands that. You're welcome to say butt plug here on Roar Stream. And that's a Roar Stream guarantee. But I want to say, like, at our local library, we have a setup where you can use the 3D printer. I forgot all about that. Yeah, we are big proponents of the flared base here on Roar Stream. The hospitals have a lot to do. They don't need you. They don't need to be rooting around in your butt because you were too cheap to get a flared base. If you can get lost up there, it will get lost up there. Kitty knows. Kitty saw it all the time. She saw it in her job, you know, in her role. She saw that shit like every day. People putting stuff up their butt, and it gets lost. If you're gonna put stuff up your butt, make sure there's like a string or something on the end of it, or you know, a flared base. That's why this is a mature-only stream. Sometimes we talk about flared butts. How old is this milk? Do. Apparently, and Kitty won't say anything because she's under HIPAA. I have no such regulations. I've heard stories from not Kitty, but people have had puts all sorts of stuff up their buttholes, and it's like, guys, hold on to it. What are you doing? Are you channel surfing? Are you bored? Are you playing Subway Surfers? Hold on to the thing that's going in your rear. I don't mean to judge. I'm not here to judge. But for your safety, hang on to it. Or get a flared base, and then you don't have to worry about it. Your fetish is making medical professionals take things out of your butt. Listen, they're very busy. They don't have time to be rooting around inside of people, getting things out, because they weren't using things with proper bases. You know what, guys, do I have like a dirt patch that I can work on? No, I got rid of all the dirt patches. Oh, hear me out. What if you see this? This is a weenie. What if you take the weenie and you make a fake weenie out of, say, sugar? Something that's hard and will dissolve. So you can, and I'm not here to be gross. What if you let it insert, but it dissolves, and then it's okay. It's like you're taking a big pill. Instead of water pick with somebody washing your teeth. At the hospital you worked at, a guy ended up having to have major surgery because he stuck a cucumber up his butt. So you get yeast infection. Sugar's a bad idea. Okay, not sugar. I don't know. Calcium. I don't know. Something that dissolves inside of buttholes. I'm the research. I'm just the idea guy. I haven't really. Hey, what's something you could put up your butt that's gonna dissolve that won't hurt you?
I can't help with that. If you have concerns about digestive health or discomfort after inserting an object into your anus, consider speaking with a healthcare professional or registered dietitian who can provide personalized guidance and support. I don't think she was listening. Is there anything else I can help you with?
That guy ever to pickle. Ha! I don't think Willow was listening at all. It's interesting. Why? How did the cucumber be that much of an issue? Like, at some point, doesn't it sort of... I don't want to be gross. Doesn't the cucumber structural integrity kind of wear away at a point? Or was there like a perforation? Is it getting gross? It breaks? Da, da, da. This conversation's getting rough. Once it's there, it blocks the colon and gets blocked up. Really? And it stays solid enough to withhold. It stays solid enough to withstand the pressure from the other side. I'm not a doctor. Interesting. I believe it. Don't get me wrong. It makes sense. So how many streams do I have to have really good internet before I can consider my problem solved? Like, no major frame droppage, no major disconnections. I'm going to say a week, right? Unskinned cucumber seems pretty stable unless it's overripe. That's true. I guess the skin was on. Well, I'm assuming they kept the skin on. 200,000. It was solid enough to stop pooping, but also weak enough that they couldn't get it up by going out and grabbing it. Oh, man. I can't help but notice we're having this conversation as we're staring into a prolapsed, a rose. So it's actually really fitting. I'm going to say a week. If by next Saturday, all next week's streams, we don't have any issues, maybe we possibly might have fixed the issue, maybe? Alternatively, we haven't even had one night fully yet, so I'm not going to count my eggs before they're hatched. On the plus side, we are getting up to 94%. Our next big power wash that we need to work on is like a plane, which is worth like 900, so I think it's going to actually be a big one. Your job is dealing with surgical instruments, so they kept asking. Oh, God. I don't want to read that. I'm reading it. I don't want to read it out loud. They eventually had to cut him open. Oh, poor guy. And all he wanted to do was get fucked. All you have to do is get something that won't get that will get stuck before it goes in there. Hope he had a good time before then. I bet you he was having a great time. I bet you he was having this the time of his life. I bet you it was one of those things that it's like I don't want to get gross. I bet you he was having a great time. Just buy a dildo. They aren't that expensive. Yeah, you can go to Target and just get a regular old dildo. No frills, no bells, whistles, or nothing. You can get just a regular old capitalism dildo, perfectly serviceable for fun party times for like what, $15? It gets the job done. I mean, I don't know. If you want to go above and beyond, they don't get tremendous. Even the super good ones are only like less than 100. Spray the ceiling. Boo this man. Boo this man. Cucumbers are less than a $5. I bet you the hospital bill was more than a $5. I bet you the hospital bill was not after you get, after the ceiling. I bet you the post bliss is like, oh, that was really expensive. You think we're getting past the embarrassment of pleasure? As a society, I'm gonna wager no. As like, as general people, like the average person, I think possibly. I think the average person, I don't know. I think as a whole, no, absolutely not. And I think they're right. I don't think we ever will. At least not in our lifetimes. Certainly not getting any better anytime soon, but we're not talking about that. Look at a bunker button. Yeah. It's like, look. Butt stuff is great. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And trust me, I am a wholehearted proponent of butt stuff. Do you, boo-boo. Life is short. It makes you happy. There's no shame in doing anything that makes you happy as long as you are not hurting anybody else and it follows modified Harkness. I think it's just really rough. I think it's really. Hold on. 1 second. I mean, people are still interested in sex till the day they die, a lot of the time. Who was it? It was, Estelle Getty. I think she did a workout video talking about, like, old people. They need to get into shape because of how much sex they want to have. And she's talking about, like, old people don't it's a misbelief to say that old people don't have sex. We do. It's just a lot slower. I think I was referring to your thing incorrectly, but I'm now going to change that to say I was referring to grunt. I think it's rough to try to think about people your grandkids' age banging. Gotcha. I see what you're saying. I say it's weird when people have this belief that you know, your grandkids or your kids, it's like, how could you be, you know, be active or interested in sex? You know, you're my grandchild, you're my kid. It's like, if you're 18, what are you doing? What are you doing, guys? Why are you being Puritan of somebody else's sex life? They're grown ass adults. Leave them alone. What are you doing? It's like I think parents, once your kids are adults, within reason, you don't really have any right to dictate a lot of the stuff that they choose to do. Now, obviously, there are exceptions, and that is not blanket policy by any stretch. But once you hit a certain age, it seems unreasonable to deny biology any longer. I don't know. Maybe I'm off base. I have been known to be off base before. And we've reached the 95 to 100% section of the power wash. So I assume we're going to be at this last 3% for about 45 minutes. Are they dying of syphilis fast enough, though? I don't know. I think the Villages has ended up not being good per se, but better than they used to be. At least in their beliefs. Speaking of which, this is the Final Fantasy VIII sex song. Enjoy, everybody. This is a song that Renoa and Squall used when they were doing some triple X 0G space sex. Children you get over, but at grandkids the age difference is so large and your old brain is able to handle change. Like your daughter's got a hoo-ha. She's going to use and enjoy it, and you imagine that you're gotten fine with that now. I mean, I'd prefer not to think of my daughter's parts in specific, but she's 18. It would be weird for her to judge me. Why would I judge her in that aspect? With some exceptions, obviously. I'm an old school father, so, you know, there are some things where it's like, actually, I don't even know why I'm saying that. That gives an impression that there's like something dastardly that I'm not really, no. But you know, you still want to protect your kids, even when they do become of age. No, absolutely not. Of course not. I have no preference at all. Some sexy stuff. I don't know how we got on the topic of sexy stuff. We're very close to the end of this. What do we still have left? Oh, we're not that close at all. What are we not even close to? Throne, curtains, heart. That. It is weird to deny biology in most cases. Like, when people are weird grandparents and being stupid about people just being interested in sex, it's weird. It's a weird thing. Bring you down a tiny bit. Yeah, I'm not. That's not really what I mean. I'm trying to say that it's like, am I still going to be a dad who will protect his kid? Yeah, absolutely. I guess is what I was trying to say. But and I said it in a really weird way that made connotations. As long as they're good. Yeah, exactly what Kitty said. We have 0 shits on who they bring home, as long as they're good people. Yeah, and that's fair too. And that would pretty much be one of the only things that would be personally upsetting to me, other than the obvious stuff. Point is, people are people, and they like having sex. I guess I'm not sure why we started talking about this. Queen's Throne is good. King's Throne is good. Throne Curtain is not good. I do appreciate that we don't talk politics. It is such a sad world, I would assume. I don't know. I'm doing my best to not pay attention to it, and it is a lovely place. It's a lovely place here on the sidelines. Oh, right. We started talking about butt stuff. As is our wont. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. Court wall. Finn is buried on the... Finn's got sleepy. He was being a pill earlier. He was being quite the little bastard. So he has gotten himself tired out, I think, which is nice. I thought we were going to be done early, but I think this last 1% is going to take us the rest of the stream. That's a Dutch oven, the dog. Dogs are... You say that, but dogs love that shit. It's not... Dogs are not nearly as fun as cats. Like, if you go up to a cat and you just bend over and just rip a rank one right in front of a cat, they'll look disgusted and walk away. And that's really funny. But with dogs, if you like lay out a sick dank fart on a dog, they could not be happier. Like that is the biggest gift you could give to a dog is ripping a fat one like right next to them. They're like, "Oh my god, that smells so cool. Thanks." Dogs are weird, man. Even Phantom was like that. Finn's really like that because he's a weird little terrier. He is such a weird little terrier dog, I swear. You gotta love him, though. He really is adorable. Domino, domino, domino. Oh, I saw so. Yeah, there you are. Yeah, if we'd been done hyper early, I might have started a new map, but I don't think I have any maps that are quick. Terriers crack me up because they're a breed that was designed to hunt and murder rats. And they are easily the doofiest dogs you've ever seen in your life. Like, just the tiniest little mutt dogs in the world. Let's get these lamps. Oh, I'm sure there's actually a lot of stuff over here to get. I think I missed this whole area because this is where we started. When I had my Doberman, the Doberman love farts. Like, dogs just love explosive, gassy farts. And I don't, I would say I don't get it, but what's not to get? It's fun, it's new, it smells different to the dogs. Like, if your whole life is going around the house smelling new things every 5 seconds, of course you're going to want to smell something new and exciting. Smells like food. It smells like even better than food. It smells like food they don't even have to chew. It's already been chewed for them and digested. Bunker. Droppings prove that your pack dominates the territory. That's true too. Dogs are weird like that. They've got they got a lot of stuff going on in them where a lot of hierarchy stuff. I'm sure they also think it's a game. Also, Finn's like one of the few dogs I've had that started to burp. It's like, I know that dogs burp, but I've never had a dog that's actually been like burpy before. I know that dogs are supposed to be gassy. I've never really had a dog that really farted very much, except for Phantom. Phantom did fart. Many breeds still have that double digestion quirk where they might eat their own poop to get all the stuff out of food. I think those are rabbits. I don't know if are there dog breeds that do that? I've never seen Finn eat his own poop. I know rabbits do that, and like marmots. There's actually quite a few animals that do that. Elephants do that. Poor Phantom, he just was not feeling well by the end, so I couldn't even get mad at him. It's like, because his stomach hurt, and he probably just felt way better after just ripping a dank one. He's like, sorry, but that felt so good. Anything that eats its own poop does it for a reason. I might contest that. I know I said Finn doesn't do that. I have had dogs that have eaten their own poop because they're stupid. I don't think it was because they desperately wanted to redigest the nutrients that they were missing. I think it was, hey, this is food. Oh, it smells and tastes really bad. Oh, it's gone. Yay, I solved a problem. And then they go off and lick people's face. Elephant dung is famously poorly processed. Yeah, that's like a thing. It's like there are gifts that will 100% not be Roar TV channels where like the elephant sticking its own trunk. It's sticking a trunk up either its own ass or somebody else's ass, and it's like just mowing down on ass. And it's like, aren't you guys supposed to be really intelligent? But I guess they're redigesting food, and it's honestly a little gross to think about. Like, it's starting to get the little gag reflex. I'm like, nope. Phantom would fart and then give you the side eye like he was giving the deepest sorry. He was such a good boy. He was a good boy. All dogs are good boys, and he was one of the goodest. Now, he is a wildly different dog than Finn is, I must say. The differences between the two dogs is outstanding. And I guess that shouldn't surprise me because, all dogs are different. All dogs have different personality quirks that make them unique. But this is night and day kind of different. It is. Whew. What else are we doing? Everything is like almost done. Lounge chair. Let me grab all this stuff over here that's not done yet. Grab all this. Thank you. And that wall, I think, needs some. No, the lamp post. There we go. All dogs are good boys and girls except for the class traitors. ACAB ED. I did see a really sad thing of a cop who got he had a fallen canine unit, and they gave him a stuffed animal of it, and it's like, you know what, ACAB, but that makes me, that's really sad, and I hope that brought him some peace. Small dog versus big dog is kind of a thing. Absolutely. My whole life, I have been staunchly anti-small dog. Staunchly of the opinion that small dogs are basically cats and cats are worthless. Ron Swanson. Finn is such a quandary to me because in a lot of ways, he is 1,000% every reason I've never wanted a small dog. On the other hand, he is a absolute sweetheart. Like, just one of the sweetest dogs you've ever seen. When he's being good, he is so good. Maybe he thinks he's a big dog. I think he's got a little bit of Napoleon complex. He has absolutely no fear of me, that's for sure. What am I missing here? I think it's all over here. I was looking past the flower. I don't know how people do 2 dogs. 2 dogs feels like a lot of work. Like 1 dog is quite a bit of effort and energy. Yeah, Napoleon complex isn't real, but you know, nomenclature. You know, I don't think that's going to change anytime in our lifetimes. I think it's much more interesting, the whole story of him. Like, was it he lost the battle because he had hemorrhoids? Something along those lines. I knew that fact once. Garden paths. Let's just do this one little by little. Garden path. It was actually quite tall for the time. Wasn't it one of those things like that was like a story that people put out because they wanted to discredit him? Am I remembering that right? Which path is it? Which path do you want me to do? Humans are just gradually getting taller with improved nutrition. Yeah, I thought it was something like he was actually relatively normal height. Also, on a completely unrelated topic, did you guys see that they identified Jack the Ripper? Like they've actually figured out who Jack the Ripper allegedly was, based on DNA evidence from a shawl that belonged to him. Was it Maybrick? I don't remember his name. It's if you Google Jack the Ripper, it's like, I'm sure it's the first result. It was a Polish barber. Misconception was he was 5'2", but normal back then was like 4 something. Is that right? People were really short back then. Hey, we're almost there. Lounge chair. Let's find lounge chair. I know that it's not terribly important who Jack the Ripper was at this point, but it is kind of nice that, the families can have some closure of like, hey, this is who killed Grammy Nams. I'm glad they figured this out. There we go. Garden raised bed. I don't know where that is. Garden raised bed. That does make sense, Feelanoid. That's what I thought, though, is what Grunt was saying, is that I thought that the whole thing was he was actually relatively normal sized, even for the time. It was just they were trying to discredit. That's what I'm looking for. But they were trying to discredit him. It was the same thing. I was reading the same thing about the cable guy. Was supposedly not nearly the commercial failure that everybody thought it was, but it was just viral slander from like other movie companies. Weird societal fixation on height that's never gone away. You ever want to hear more about height than you've ever wanted to know in your whole life? Have children. If I ever hear who's taller than who in my life again, it'll never be too soon. I say this because I think I'm what, 5'11"? I'm either 5'11" or 5'10". And so I guess I don't really have I don't really have a horse in the fight, I guess. But it's like, just chill. Who cares who's taller than who? Who cares? Holy God. It doesn't matter. Height is irrelevant. Everybody in the house is taller than you now? You're proving my point, Kitty. Did you ever mark doorways? For a very, very brief time, I want to say we might have. Kitty, did we ever mark doorways for the kids? I think getting too wasted on morphine and missing a battle because they couldn't find enough leeches because the hemorrhoids happened, though. Yeah, supposedly that one did happen. I read a book about the weird coincidences in life, and that was one of them. Oh no, frames. I think we're back. I think they came back. There we go. It's been pretty good all night. I can handle a little glitch. Did we actually lose connection, or was it just some frame droppage? It seems like we only lost 130 frames. It could be on your end. No, I'm pretty sure it was on me. It could have been both, but it was definitely me. Like, we didn't actually lose the stream at all, I don't think. All things considered, it's been pretty good all night. And maybe I'm jinxing it by, even talking about it before the stream's over. Just the stuff that's been happening. Well, the stuff that's been happening, what I don't want is for it to be constantly going down to 2,000 kilobytes every 3 seconds and dropping frames. If it happens like once a night, that's fine with me. If it happens, if it just lowers the bandwidth for 2 seconds and makes it really blurry, that's fine with me. It happened as soon as you commented. I want to say that's probably correlation, Kitty. I can't imagine that would be the case. Chess bishop statues. But thank you for the head. But I will keep that in mind. Chess bishop statues. I think we've only got a few left to go. Court door handles. Yeah, if we just drop just a few frames, I can handle that. I don't want the stream to disconnect. I don't want the stream to disconnect. That is the killer. Like if I lose connection to Twitch, it's like I might as well just turn the stream off. The series of tubes, it's true. I think Gore told us that. Our Wi-Fi blows testicles. Well, I'm not on the Wi-Fi, but our internet blows testicles. I think I need to call Bright House. I'm streaming on 720 30 FPS. I should not have any issues. Not with our internet, not with the amount we pay. Court door hinges. Door hinge, door hinge, door hinge. One over here. Door hinge. What is that? What is that? No, dog, 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 dog. There we go. Door hinge, garden path, court door handle. So we're almost there. And garden paths, whichever one that is. I couldn't find it earlier. What's really annoying is that it was not the internet cable. I kind of was hoping it would be the internet cable that was the issue, but I don't think that really fixed it. On the plus side, it looks way better now. Court paths. Those testicles. Kitty doesn't do that. Testicles are gross. She would. I don't want to tell her what she can or can't do, but it's not, I'm going to be honest, and I don't mean to sound crass here. Oral ain't all that it's cracked up to be. And I've said this before, but like there's so many better things that are so much like hotter and stuff. And you know what? Once you hit a certain point in your life and you're like, where is this art garden path? And you're like, you know what? Why waste time on stuff, you know, that isn't your favorite, and instead do the things that are your favorite things. And that's, you know, really all there is to it. Where is this garden path? It's like one garden path left, and it's supposed to be blinking. Does Wi-Fi do butt stuff? I don't think you're supposed. I think you're supposed to use a wired connection to butt stuff. There it is. It's actually bad for the connection or for butt stuff if you don't have a straight connection to the internet. Let's watch this. That looks real cool. We finally finished a DLC. We finished the Alice in Wonderland DLC. Fantastic. That's quite the transformation. If you suck at sucking, don't do it. I didn't say anything about quality of it. I just said my enjoyment of it is not as good. Wireless routers flare to the base. No more Alice. You don't like Alice? Well, I've probably for good reason. To be fair, probably a good reason not to like Alice, at least for Gene Carroll. I mean, not Gene Carroll. The hell is his name? No, I forget his damn name. The guy who wrote Alice was not a particularly great person. Yeah, but he's dead, and it doesn't really matter anymore. Lewis Carroll, thank you. I knew it was. I knew it was something along those lines. Oh, speaking of bed and dead, I'm going to bed. That was fun. Tomorrow we will be doing, not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow actually. We will be doing Return of the Phantom, which is a point and click adventure game. It should be really fun. Hopefully the internet will play nicely. I think it will. It's going to be fun. Until then, have a fantastic evening. I will see you all later. Thank you all for coming out. I love you. Goodbye. Mwah.